Welcome back, guys. We are in day 7, phase 4 of our 6-pack training. Today we're going to be working on some back, we're going to do some triceps, and also we're going to do some functional. Remember, your rest times are still at 1 minute. We're not going to do an active rest. We're not going to do active rest for this workout because we're going to be engaging in deadlifts, so it's going to be a little exhausting. We're going to start off with deadlifts. We're going to do 3 sets of 12 reps. And after that, we're going to follow by some one-arm dumbbell rolls, supersetting with some prone cobras. And we're going to finish off with some triceps doing skull crushers and supersetting that with bench dips. And then we'll do some functional after. Let's get going. So Dan's going to go ahead and start us off with the deadlifts. Remember, 3 sets of 12 reps. And again, Dan is using a wider stance for deadlifts, which is perfectly a good form also. You can go with a wide stance or a close one. Good thing about deadlifts is it's such a good exercise to go ahead and engage the entire back and builds good thickness and a lot of power in your legs, shoulders, and arms, and grip too. So remember your rest time being 1 minute right after. Now we're going to go into one-arm dumbbell rolls, superset that with prone cobras. 4 sets of 8 reps, and prone cobras we're going for about 10 reps.
So you notice on these rows how far down Mike gets and how he brings it almost all the way up to his chest.
And of course, we're only demonstrating. We like you to go a lot heavier to make sure that 8th rep is very, very challenging to finish.
And again, notice how Mike is not swinging with momentum. Staying very safe, avoiding injury. And run into those cobras. And look how far up Mike gets on the arch in the back. And notice again how his thumbs go up right away when he starts on that. Also notice the control that he's doing these with. If you're doing these really fast, you're basically just waving your arms around. Very important to do these slow and with control and really get that contraction in your back at the end. And also notice how he's counting to himself to keep the time. Really important to get that rhythm down, especially in the beginning, because at the end when you're tired, you're not going to really want to keep it unless you really have it internalized first.
I tend to like to keep my feet up for skull crushers. And see, this way you reach right in the back right here, take it up, push it up, and I find the grip that I like, and I go with usually a little closer grip. You can go with a slightly wider one if you like. Sometimes I even cross my feet like this.
And notice on these how Mike is actually going behind his head, not actually touching his forehead or his nose or his chin. Again, these are very, very harsh on your elbows if you don't do that. So very important you do it like Mike is doing it right now. Go behind your head and go past the top of your head.
So at this point, you can either go into some close grip too if you like. Most of the time, you'll find that just as long as you use the appropriate weight for your skull crushers, you should be pretty exhausted. So right from here, you can either actually probably just leave the weight there if you like, and you'll go directly into your dips. So for me, again, I'm going for about 35. Feet together, knees together, chest out, keep your butt close to the bench.
And you see on this form how Mike's lower back is almost touching the bench here. You also see how he's not going too far down. Also notice his wrists, the way that his hands are forward, like with his fingers hanging off the bench.
Alright, so that was about 35. So you need to go ahead and do 4 sets of these. Do your 1 minute rest now and knock out the other 3. So last thing we're going to do is our functional. Today our functional exercise is going to be jumping lunges, and we're going to go into lying hand heel touches to work on our abs. Okay, ready?
Yep.
And go. And by now, guys, if you don't have a workout partner, you probably found a way to go and keep track of the time. Sometimes I have a workout partner like Dan, sometimes I don't. So it's always good. Switch. Notice how Dan is keeping his abs contracted and really reaching for his heel. Okay, that's good. Alright, so you have 4 sets total, 3 sets left to go. And that concludes day 7.